This is Singapore Tonight. I'm David Nye. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has called on workers to keep finding new ways to keep Singapore special and unique. This is to create prosperity for a new generation of Singaporeans. Addressing the annual May Day rally, Mr. Lee says this would require courage as workers need to adapt and strive hard. Political reporter S. Ramesh reports.
Singapore is undergoing a transformation, says Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. And among the signs that point to this, 180,000 new jobs were created last year. Wages too have gone up by nearly 5%. That's the fastest growth in 6 years.
The most important signal, the unionists are smiling. That means everything is all right. So there's growing confidence and buzz in Singapore.
Mr. Lee stressed the good news is a result of the government taking a long-term view of what needs to be done in the best interest of the people. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong noted that among the factors that have led to Singapore's present state of economic growth and development is the emphasis the government has placed on worker training. Mr. Lee noted that among the top priorities the government has pushed for is lifelong learning. So the challenge now is to build a first-class continuing education system for adult workers. The Workforce Development Agency and the NTUC are working with the Institutes of Higher Learning to achieve this. And the Prime Minister hopes workers will take full advantage of the government's efforts to help them upgrade and prepare themselves for new job opportunities. Another area that needs to be looked into is wage reform. Mr. Lee said the maximum to minimum salary ratio has been narrowed over time from an average of 1.85 10 years ago to 1.68 today. But he feels it should still go down further, and Singapore should aim for a ratio of 1.5.
We must try hard to get our wage structure right. Bring the ratio down. Make it job-based, competency-based, performance-based. What are you delivering? How capable are you? What responsibility are you carrying? Move towards paying rate for the job. But at any rate, don't do anything to make the ratio worse. Because that's going to be maybe convenient now, you placate some people, but big problem for the workers in the long term. So the more flexible our wage structure is, the more resilient our companies will be to changing market conditions, and the easier it will be for our people to stay employed.
That objective needs to be met against the backdrop of an aging population. And one group the government's concerned about, the self-employed and the informal workers. The authorities recognize that more needs to be done to encourage them to join the CPF system. The aim to ensure that low-wage workers save for their CPF. So one idea that's been tossed by unionists and Member of Parliament Seng Han Thong is to have a MediSave contribution draw. This is to encourage people to contribute to their MediSave and be entitled to a lucky draw.
Singaporeans love lucky draws. So why not have a small lucky draw? If you pay in your MediSave on time, then you can be eligible for lucky draw and there's a prize. So everybody is happy. You get a small flutter. We're not encouraging gambling, but no harm having a bit of fun. So we are going to do this.
Mr. Lee stressed that Singapore is on a winning track, but Singaporeans must never think they've arrived.
So we've done okay, but don't be conservative. Take risks. Don't stagnate. Work hard. Don't be complacent. Always worry what is going to come.
Singapore's competitors are hungry, so they are working harder and smarter because they are determined to catch up. And the task ahead for Singapore, says the Prime Minister, is to look forward with confidence to a common future and work together to build a better life for all.
Also addressing the May Day rally was NTUC Secretary General Lim Swee Say, and he vows to ensure that Singapore never becomes what he calls a same nation in the world of same challenges. If that happens, he warned the country could end up as, in his words, just another average nation. Mr. Lim noted that Singapore has its own unique blend of tripartism, where the partners think far, talk real, and act fast in unity. He hopes that in 5 years' time, with the efforts put in place to encourage more people to work longer, Singapore can become one of the nations with the longest employment.
Let us commit ourselves to always do the right things. Let us strive for unlimited Singapore so that there will be higher, better, and longer employment for all. Let us strive for an even more united Singapore so that all colours of workers, all ages of workers, all nationality of workers will work, live, and play together.
Unionists say they like the idea of having a draw to encourage the self-employed and informal workers to contribute to their MediSave. Many also support Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong's call for constant upgrading to prepare themselves for new job opportunities. Julia Ng has more.
Love, friendship and camaraderie. These are the themes of the first ever May Day musical by young NTUC members. And such a message got the Prime Minister and union leaders on their feet in a show of support. The musical is about how the Singapore labour movement overcame the challenges and struggles since it was founded in 1961. But issues such as helping workers stay employed remain relevant till today. And this is why Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has urged all workers to opt for continuing education. Mr. Lee singled out 36-year-old Max Chan, who went for retraining to pursue his dreams. Max started as a glass artist after completing his N-levels. 10 years later, when the glass industry declined, Max switched to selling cakes for a living. But to hone his professional skills, Max went for a 3D animation program run by the Workforce Development Agency and Media Development Authority. Today, Max works in a local 3D animation production house, and his films might soon be shown all over the world.
年轻的时候就比较有兴趣这个动画的东西，只是没有我中学出来的时候没有这一种行业盛行啊，所以我要等到WBA 这个他举办这个 course 给我一个机会来学习。
The PM says these people must go for the training, upgrade their skill. Doesn't mean you must have the experience, the education in a language or whatever. You have an experience, you have a talent, you can survive. So that you encourage the other people, don't just stay behind.
Mr. Lee said the best solution is for Singaporeans to stay employed longer, but of particular concern are the self-employed and informal workers. Mr. Lee said the tripartite partners are now discussing ways to ensure that these low-wage workers save for their CPF. The Prime Minister's plan to introduce a MediSave contribution draw drew much laughter at the rally, but union leaders understand the underlying intent is serious.
I think that will encourage more taxi drivers to contribute their CPF to MediSave. I think most of them have not enough MediSave especially taxi driver, because we only contribute very few money to the MediSave.
The man who first mooted the idea in Parliament said he hopes the CPF board would roll out the draw early next year.
I hope that there are many small prices to encourage more people to save. And these are low-wage workers. If on top of the cash price, we can also have some prices in kind, household appliances, irons, rice bowl, to signify that you have a job, you are secure. Why not?
Wrapping up the May Day rally, Prime Minister Lee's message was clear. Change, work hard as a team, and everyone will have something to sing about.